the wrong grave to rob. In the haunted year of 1923, tales whispered of a man named Frank, who cast his shadow upon the enigmatic landscapes of Miles Standish Cemetery in Duxbury, Massachusetts. By day, his sunburned hands labored the fields, blending in with the common folk, but as night fell, he embraced the sinister cloak of deceit. Frank was a grave robber who had an uncanny ability to unearth graves rich in treasures and heirlooms that bore a weighty price in the shadows of the underworld. The Miles Standish Cemetery, with its ancient oaks and shadowy corners, seemed to come alive with spectral murmurs on one fog-drenched night. A veil of mist curled around the gravestones, providing Frank the perfect cover for his evil pursuits. The world slept as the clock tolled 3 a.m., its chimes mingling with the rustling of autumn leaves. Guided by his dim lantern, Frank browsed the markers with discerning eyes. His gaze alighted on a stone that read, "Susan, a loving wife." He smirked, thinking women seldom possessed the treasures he sought. His laughter, a hushed tone in the graveyard stillness, betrayed his confidence. Then, a particular gravestone caught his attention, its inscription reading, "Here lies William Morrison, the cheater, fated to endure eternal solitude." Memories stirred within Frank, recalling tavern tales of a man named Morrison, notorious for beguiling women and often rumored to swallow jewels to escape unnoticed from his victims' homes. The pieces aligned in Frank's mind. Was this the very Morrison of those dark legends? Resolute, he whispered, "William Morrison, tonight our paths intertwine." Frank set his lantern aside with renewed vigor and dug into the earth with feverish anticipation. Each shovelful heightened his expectation of unearthing treasures that would secure his future. Finally, the casket's form emerged from the cold embrace of the soil. Prizing it open with trembling hands, he brought his lantern close, desperate to unveil its secrets. But instead of the gleam of gold or the sparkle of diamonds, he was met with the grotesque sight of decay. Maggots writhed in a dance of death upon a body he found all too real and hauntingly familiar. Horror rooted him to the spot as he recognized the face, now a macabre mask of decay, devoured by the ravages of time and tiny creatures. But the eyes, hidden beneath closed lids, seemed to conceal the most tantalizing treasures. Driven by greed, Frank dared to lift those eyelids. Yet, in an unholy twist, Morrison's eyes sprang open, piercing Frank's very soul. Cold, bony fingers snatched at Frank's face as Morrison hissed in a voice dripping with malevolence, "You dare disturb my rest." Overwhelmed and paralyzed by terror, Frank could only gape as Morrison's rotting hand delved into his decaying abdomen, retrieving a putrid morsel that he forced into Frank's mouth. With a force unnatural for the deceased, Morrison thrust his skeletal feet into Frank's legs, trapping him. Frank's guttural scream through the maggot-infected flesh, a symphony of pure terror, echoed hopelessly through the graveyard. In a slow, agonizing dance of death, Morrison dragged the cold soil Frank dug up over them. Frank's panicked screams filled the air, but there were no saviors in this desolate hour, no witnesses to his impending doom. As the weight of the earth pressed upon him and his vision dimmed, the final thoughts that raced through Frank's mind were of regret and terror. Morrison's voice, cold and sinister, slithered into Frank's ears like a serpent, becoming the haunting lullaby to his impending doom. Embrace the abyss, Frank. For in the cold embrace of death, as it was in our tainted lives, we shall remain forever bound, two cursed souls dancing in unending agony. Dare to delve into the unknown with chilling ghost tales. Then subscribe for weekly videos of the eeriest tales and darkest legends now.